Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you, Jermaine.
You also, I mean, I don't see you, but glad you're here.
I have a PDF copy of the agenda and the slides. If you want, I can drop it in the chat so people can follow along.
Okay.
I just have to find where I put them, but I have them. All right. I also attached them to the invitation this morning, so. Oh, it's not letting me share them. Why not?
Yeah, I tried to share mine earlier. I couldn't share it.
That's weird. It usually lets me just drop stuff right in. That's really weird. I'll figure it out and find a way to get it on here somewhere.
Good morning. This is Carrie over at the Circle and Ada Mines in the community room.
Hey, Carrie, how you doing?
Too shabby.
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Live happier and longer lives. So
We'll give it a couple more minutes, see a few more people show up, and then we'll get started. Oh, look like we both having trouble sharing. I was trying to share the agenda and it's not letting me share it either. Trisha. Pat, you still can't share your screen, Patricia?
Yeah, it'll let me share my screen, but it's not letting me share files. Like, I've never had a problem doing it before. I don't understand. I'm glad it's letting screen sharing happen because that's weird.
Oh, maybe I can share it because you're sharing yours, maybe?
Oh no, I'm not. Yours was popping up. I could see it.
Oh, what? Okay, it's not showing on mine. Oh, there
That's
you
so weird.
go.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was trying to just yes, Allison, it is attached to the calendar invite, and so are the slides. So everyone can open them up from the update they received this morning. I was just trying to share it in the chat to make it more convenient, but it's not letting me, and I don't understand why. It's broken.
All right, well, that's going to get started. Let me try to share this agenda. Can everybody see the agenda? Because I can't see it on mine.
It's popping up for me.
All right, cool. Um, so welcome to our Cultural Competency Committee meeting. This is the agenda. It's the meeting minutes for last week. We talked about cultural awareness. We talked about the different cultural holidays. We talked about mental health awareness, community reflections. Anybody have any comments from our last meeting? No. Hey, Leila, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
I think just one thing to note, as being part of a cultural awareness committee, I'm sure that none of us are trying to intentionally, um, you know, just make anyone feel marginalized or insulted, but I think we should be more conscious about what language we use. I know that someone in our last meeting used the term illegals when talking about undocumented immigrants. And that's a term, and I'm sure it's just lack of awareness, but it's a term that's used to dehumanize people. And so just for awareness, and maybe we can, when things like that come up, we can find ways to talk about it. It's just so that we can, um, just not perpetuate negative any stigma.
You're definitely right about that. And everybody should be aware of the language they use, especially when we have a community meeting like this. I mean, you should be aware in general at all times, but especially when we on the platform with people from different races and different backgrounds all together. Good catch, Lita. So the agenda today, we're going to do a land acknowledgement. We can do a little welcome and introductions. We can talk about cultural awareness. We can talk about some of the current events that's going on right now. I know we don't normally do that, but I feel it's important. We'll take a little break, talk about community events, cultural holidays, and to the end, we have a few questions. Maybe we can see if we can get in some breakout rooms and talk about it, and then get back together at the end and to talk about what we came up with. Stop sharing this, and I'm gonna go over to my presentation. So, Cultural Competency Committee meeting. Today's October 16th, 2025. My name is Jermaine Gregoire. I'm the acting Cultural Competency Chair, just for the meantime, until our regular person comes back. Then we start off, we do a land acknowledgement. We want to acknowledge that Lake County rests on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded lands of the Pomo, Wapo, Lake Miok peoples. We honor their enduring presence, resilience, and cultural wisdom that continue to shape our community. So let's take a few minutes to get to know each other. We got people on here that probably don't know each other, so we're gonna take a few minutes to introduce ourselves and talk about, just tell us who you are, what organization you represent, and a little icebreaker question like what's a great place to visit and why. I'll start it off. I'm Jermaine Gregoire, staff service analyst for behavioral health. I would love to visit Ethiopia and Sudan because of the history, the food, and the culture. I know some people from there, and they always told me some good things, so I'd love to visit it. I'm gonna popcorn this thing over to Patricia. Patricia Russell.
Sorry, I was muted. I'm Patricia Russell. I'm the BHSA data analyst at Lake County Behavioral Health. Best place to visit? Anywhere in the Redwoods, because it's peaceful and pretty, and I just really like being in the tall trees. Are we popcorning? I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's go and popcorn it over to everybody until we miss
Okay.
somebody.
I'm gonna popcorn it over to Julia Gray, because I can see her name right there.
Of course you did. Okay. I'm Julia Gray. I'm case manager for Lake County for mental health, access and front office. I don't know where to visit. I don't go on vacations. I want to go on a cruise. There you go. That's it for me.
Okay, that's going to popcorn to Lindsay Cook.
Go ahead and ask the question again, sorry. What is it? Oh, where are you? Or who are, I'm Lindsay Cook. I work for Lake County Behavioral. Oh, best place to visit, hands down. Well, I have two places because I love Bernie Falls. Absolutely love Bernie Falls. And it's a very, very nice place to go to clear your head and mind. And the next best place actually is right here in Fort Bragg, and I love to go there, and it's Westport Beach. Do I need a popcorn somebody?
Yeah, just popcorn to somebody.
Marin Francis.
I knew you were going to pick me. Hi, everybody. My name is Marin. I am the SEDS program analyst for Lake County Behavioral Health. And some place that I like to visit, and I haven't been in many years, is Arizona in the winter. The heat is gone, the saguaros are beautiful, the hiking's wonderful, and I hope to go there soon. And I'm going to popcorn it over to Sierra.
I knew you were going to do that. I'm Sierra. I work in the SUDS department for Lake County Behavioral Health, and I'm a substance abuse counselor. Best place to visit, I really like any waterfalls. And Fort Bragg, I agree with Lindsay. I was definitely thinking those as well. And I'll popcorn to Amanda Hicks.
Amanda, is your mic on? All right, maybe we'll come back to Amanda. Let's go and popcorn over to Tina.
My name is Tina Ransberg. I'm with Lake County Behavioral Health. I'm with Outreach and Prevention. And the best place to visit for me would be the ocean. That's always relaxing. And I am going to pick, let's see, Michelle Lampkin.
Hello, this is Michelle Lampkin. I'm the Staff Services Manager for Lake County Behavioral Health Services. Best place to visit? Oh, so many places. Anywhere along the California coastline, because there's the ocean and the trees and the mountains all at the same locale. Outside of the United States, I love Central and South America. And that's it for me, and I will toss it over to Amber Looch. Who may not be on this call anymore, so I will toss it over to, let me see. Megan Morgan.
Hello. I am Megan Morgan. I'm the community liaison at Lake County Behavioral Health Services. And probably the place that I want to visit most is Cardiff, Wales. It's where my dad is from, and he described it in a way that I would love to go visit one day. And I am going to pop it over to Carrie Manning.
Well, good morning. This is Carrie Manning. I'm supervising behavioral health clinical specialist, and I work for Lake County Behavioral Health Services. So my best place, so the ocean is usually like where I go to recharge my batteries. But I really want to go back home to West Virginia for a vacation. And I'm not sure who else needs to go. Mary Wilson.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mary Wilson. I am an adult education specialist over here at Lake County campus. And I'm also, I think it's also important to recognize that the city needs work in this regard too, and I'm a city council member. My best place to visit actually is the little fountain in my yard where the hummingbirds and bees come and get their water, and it's part of a permacultural practice to have a sit spot so that we can feel a connection to the earth. And you know, it's great to go on vacation, but we don't get to go over there very often, so I can go at my sit spot every single day and feel grounded. And if Monty's here, I'd love to hear from you this morning.
Yes, I'm here. Good morning, Mary. Hello, everybody. My name is Montanique, and I go by Monty. I work for Lake County Behavioral Health as a staff services analyst senior in the fiscal department. And my best place to visit is my bed because I never seem to get enough rest. And I'm not sure who hasn't gone yet. Let me see. I don't know. Jermaine, do you know who hasn't gone yet?
How about Layla?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am Layla Romero. I am the Health Equity Coordinator for Lake County Health Services. Best place to visit. A couple of years ago, I got to visit Palawan in the Philippines. I'm Filipino, and I hadn't been to the Philippines in 17 years. And so it was really wonderful to visit the motherland. And it helps that Palawan is just beautiful beaches with clear water, and it was really warm even in December. And I definitely highly recommend it if you ever get the chance. And I will popcorn it to Judith.
Good morning. My name is Judith Gonzalez Padron. I am a health programs coordinator with Lake County Health Services. And a good place to visit. I love Morro Bay or any place in Slow County. It has every weather, depending what area you visit. So I highly recommend it.
Let's go and popcorn to Allison.
Hello, this is Allison Manweiler. I work in as a staff service analyst at Lake County Behavioral Health, primarily with the DUI, driving under the influence program. And my most favorite spot is the Botanical Gardens in Fort Bragg. I'll pop it over to Ken Agawa.
Good morning. My name is Ken Ogawa, Staff Service Analyst with Lake County Behavioral Health Services and SUD Compliance. For me, best place to visit and why would be home. My parents' place up in Salem. Thanksgiving's coming up. Best meal of the year. I'll never miss it. And I'm actually going to popcorn it over to my next door neighbor here, Henry.
Hey, so I'm Henry. I'm also a compliance analyst. And best place to visit and why? I like going to Santa Rosa. A lot of friends live there, and so yeah, I mean, it's a nice place to be. And I think the screen's too dark. I can't tell who we popcorned it to. Who else is here?
How about Denise?
Yeah. Hey, yeah, let's popcorn it to Denise then.
Good morning. My name is Denise Schrady, and I am Lake County Behavioral Health Outreach and Prevention. I work with the older adult population. And my favorite place is a little resort that's down up by Brookings. It's called Turtle Rock Resort. We used to go there for every Thanksgiving. And this year, my son moved up to Sweet Home, Oregon. So that's where we'll be spending it. And it's a really cool town up there, too. So, and I will call on, let me see. Where are the participants? Here's the people. Is Rashida here?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was too busy laughing because my computer was glitching over here, and I'm like, hello? Like, why is it not working? Gotta love technology, guys. Hi, I'm Rashida Ramos. I am now part of the outreach and prevention team for mental health. And the best place to visit and why. It's kind of hard. I visited a lot of places growing up, especially living in foster care, moving from home to home. But never really got to enjoy any of them because of my living situations. So I would say I probably want to revisit every place I've ever been. So I would say like Ensenada, Baja California, Sinaloa, Mexico, and just a bunch of other places that is just a long list. So I would like to visit everywhere again. See, who hasn't gone? Amanda, you can go.
I hadn't gone yet. Sorry, I was talking to a client on the phone when I was called. I'm Amanda with Lake County Behavioral Health. I'm a substance abuse counselor, and the my favorite place to go would be definitely the ocean. Anywhere where the ocean is. I just got back from uh, visiting my mom in La Quinta next to Palm Springs, and my brother lives in Vista, which is next to Oceanside. So, yeah, I love all those places down there.
But that's gonna pop on over to Scott.
Hi, Scott. I am the program manager for Lake County Behavioral Health Services. And let's see, my favorite place to visit would be with probably visiting my sons in Utah and seeing their families. And Jermaine, hopefully you can, I'm traveling about 45 miles an hour. Hopefully you can pick someone for me because I can't see my screen.
Yes, sir. Let's go to Trisha Messner.
There we go, found my mic. So my name is Trisha Messner. I'm the clinician for the children's team and team lead. My favorite place to visit, Monty took mine, my bed. But I love Yosemite. I used to go there with my family. Oh, I have to pick somebody. Denise Schrade, have you gone?
She went. Let's do Tina Allen.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tina Allen, and I'm from Adventist Health. I'm currently in two roles. I'm the supervisor of the substance use navigator role and project manager. And I would say my best place to visit, I have two of them. Number one is anywhere my adult children and grandchildren are, is my favorite place to visit. And then I really enjoy Kauai. I'm not sure who else hasn't been chosen.
Let's go to Rachel Neal.
Hi, I'm Rachel, housing coordinator for Lake County Behavioral Health.
My favorite places, I just got back from Florida, Miramar Beach, Florida. It was amazing. And I loved Costa Rica.
I think we got Lon. Maybe not. Look like we have about everybody. I seen Chrissy for a second, but I think she's gone now. Well, cool. Welcome, everybody. Do everybody know the meaning of cultural awareness when it comes to the workplace, working, talking to your coworkers? Give you the definition of this. Uh, Cultural awareness empowers employees to recognize and appreciate the diverse communication styles and practices of their colleagues. This heightens understanding, help minimize misunderstandings and misinterpretations, fostering more effective and respectful interactions. When team members are attuned to cultural nuances, they are better equipped to communicate with clarity and empathy, ensuring that messages are conveyed and received as intended. I think a lot of times we have a lot of issues because of, you know what I'm saying, misunderstandings. Uh, and so I work a lot with grievances, and many times it's because of misunderstandings. So if everybody just take the time to get to know the people that you work with, see where they come from, because people that come from different places, you know, especially me, I come from the South. I've been through a lot of different things. So a lot of times I like to talk direct, which could come off a certain way to some people sometimes. So just instead of taking everything to heart, just try to get to know your coworkers and your peers and people that you live around or meet in different places, and kind of understand it before you jump to conclusions and cause issues. Anybody got any comments on that?
This is Carrie over at the Circle. You just touched on it. I think a lot of times we forget that, others have their own experiences, their own lived experiences, and we need to learn we need to remember not to take every comment personally. And it's not like a personal attack on us. And I think that that's where, some of the conflict comes in is depending on where we're at. Somebody could say something one day and it doesn't really affect me, but then, a couple of days later, I'm in a different mindset and could take it totally wrong. So I think that that's really important for us to remember. And then, like you were saying, it's really important before we speak, like, what's the purpose of what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is this really needed at this moment? Is it going to harm somebody? Or is it going to help them? So.
All right, go ahead, Layla.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're going to touch on this in other slides, and I don't want to let me know so I don't step on your toes, but it's there's differences between like cultural awareness, cultural humility, cultural competency, and a lot of them are overlap, but I know for me, cultural awareness is kind of having like, learning about other cultures so that I just to have awareness, like if I have a patient or something who is Muslim, let's say, I can say like, oh, I know that some Muslims don't eat pork, but then the cultural humility part is letting them tell me who they are and how their culture and identity interacts with their health or whatever it is that we're interacting for. And I know that uh, in some of the other circles I've been in, there's been issues with cultural competency because when we think of competent, it's like I'm good enough or I know enough. But a lot of what we or a lot of what people have experienced is that cultural competency can actually lead to stereotyping. And so, which is, not to say that everyone defines all these things the same way, which even makes it even more difficult. But I know that, so all this to say is it's all very nuanced, and basically that no matter what, we should always be practicing cultural humility and understanding that no group of people is uniform, no matter what their identity or culture is. And so we should be letting folks define things for themselves to us rather than having us um, jump to any conclusions or make assumptions, but to have that awareness and knowledge.
Thank you. That was great. Thank you, guys. We're gonna do something a little bit different this time. We're gonna talk about some of the current events that's going on. And some people might say, like, why are we talking about these current events? Because we in Lake County, but this stuff affects us all. So we have ice raids going on. We have a population of people that could be at risk. We have some of these people coming with masks on. Some of them they're fake. They're robbing people. So we got to be there and stand up for each other. The other thing is we have a freedom of speech is being threatened. We got armed forces sent to U.S. cities. We have a growing racial divide, people losing health care, and we have a government shutdown. Like I think all these things affects us all. So that's why I felt it important that we talk about it. So the ICE raids, immigration crackdown. This is not just about, Hispanic people, because Black people are at risk. Even white people are at risk that come from different countries, could be citizens or maybe probably citizens, but being assumed that they're not and thrown in jail. So Operation Midway Blitz, launched by the Department of Homeland Security, has led to over 800 arrests in Illinois, particularly targeting undocumented immigrants with criminal records. But we all know that all those people that's being arrested don't have criminal records. In Chicago, dramatic raids involving Black Hawk helicopters, mass agents drawing criticism for detaining U.S. citizens and children and creating widespread fear in immigrant communities. Critics argue that these raids are, politically motivated and disproportionately affect sanctuary cities. Yeah, my opinion is true. Anybody got any feelings on this? Denise?
I just really want to thank you for delving into this because I think it's so very important right now. And with the division in our country right now, it is very scary. And every topic that you put on here are topics that can either ignite conflict and division, or it can soothe it. I really miss the days when we could have a very safe debate, irregardless of what my belief system or what party I belong to or whatever. So I just want to say my hat's off to you for this. It's a very scary time right now. And there are people that are getting caught in the crossfire of this. I have a cousin personally that was caught in the crossfire. My father is Blackfoot from the Siki band. And my skin is like dark, but not that dark. But some of my other family members have a lot darker skin than I do. And I just got to say that he got caught in the crossfire. And it was very emotional. And so this stuff is really happening. It's not happening so much in Lake County. And I'm not promoting or anything, but there is a No Kings protest this weekend on Saturday. Depending on what you believe, I honor everything that anybody believes in here. But I think that we need to do whatever we do with compassion and love and understanding. So I just wanted to thank you, Jermaine.
No problem. Thank you. Nobody else? And check the page. All right. So I'm not sure if everybody know or probably when the last time you seen the First Amendment. Like, cause I hadn't really looked at it since I was in probably high school, probably for last time I really looked at it. But so here it is. The First Amendment: Congress shall make no law respecting on establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of the people to peacefully assemble and to petition the government for a redress of a grievance. So this has been really serious right now. Freedom of speech is under pressure since the unaliving of Charlie Kirk. It has triggered a wave of firings and suspensions for online speech deemed offensive, creating a chilling effect. The Trump administration has labeled groups like Antifa terrorist organizations, raising constitutional concerns about government overreach and the use of national security laws to suppress dissent. Both political sides are accused of contributing to the shrinking public square, using state power on the right and corporate and social pressure on the left. The reason I decided to put this on there, and I know it's controversial, but it's so much that's going on right now. I never heard of the guy that this happened to before. Like I seen his stuff, but I'm the type of person, if I see something that I don't like, I'm just gonna move on. I keep on scrolling. Everybody have the right to say whatever they want to say. Sometimes we have consequences. That's why I try to censor everything that I say, because sometimes I just let it go freely. Stuff that run through my mind, it could cause some controversy. So I try to censor everything I say, and that most people should do that. But we do have the right to say whatever you want to say whatever you want to say. And I got people that I've been knowing for years that's been just been saying some outrageous things, and I think that everybody needs to get together and try to get this thing under control before everything goes to heck. So just remember, we got the First Amendment right for free speech, man, free assembly. As long as you're not causing no drama, destroying no property, it's all right. No comments? So we also have a healthcare crisis, raising costs. Got millions of people who are at risk of losing coverage due to proposed Medicaid, or in our case, Medi-Cal cuts, the expiration of the enhanced ACA subsidies, and work requirements for Medicaid or Medi-Cal. If subsidies expire, premiums could raise up by 75% or more, especially affecting people in rural and low-income areas like us. So this has effect on us here. The healthcare debate has been a central issue in the ongoing government funding standoff. And the way things been looking is probably going to get worse before it get better. So everybody needs to be prepared. When it's time to vote, please everybody go vote. No matter who you choose or who you roll with, use your rights, man. Another issue, having armed forces in U.S. cities. This is this is the United States, and we have our military going into cities like they're in the Middle East or something, man. It's crazy. Got National Guard troops that have been deployed to Los Angeles, D.C., Memphis, Portland, Chicago, and other cities. These deployments are often against the wishes of the local leaders or the governors, and framed as crackdowns on crime and protests. We have the right to protest, but this has sparked legal challenges and the accusation of violating the Passe Comitatus Act. President Trump has described the situation as a war from within, using military as domestic enforcement tools. Our president said that if for him to get what he wants, he's going to do by any means necessary, even with the military. If these things that's going down right now is not scaring everybody, I don't know what's going on with you guys. Anybody have any opinions on this?
I'm scared to death. Period. Just trying to stay in my lane and on top of my mountain, but hiding from everything doesn't seem to be doing me any good. I can't stand to be political. It's crazy in these times, but they're breeding it in our children. All of the above. My 6-year-old comes home talking about Donald Trump. So I don't know what to do about this whole situation. I don't know what's right. I don't know what's wrong, but I just want everything to be culturally competent. You know what I mean? But will we ever get there? Look how many hundreds of years we've been fighting. So whether it was African American, Native, whatever, it's crazy. I don't know. Makes me nervous. Glad you're doing the research though.
Yeah. So last month I went down to a conference in Houston, Texas, the National Black MBA Association annual conference. This association has been around for 47 years. Been doing conferences, and there's Black professionals from around the United States. And the overall feeling from the conference with these thousands of business owners and top professionals from around the United States, everybody's worried. They're worried like things could get worse. But what they told black folks to do is like just hunker down, don't engage. You know what I'm saying? Be prepared, but don't try to engage in nobody. Just kind of stick to yourself, stay the course. And I would tell everybody else, man, like things are getting crazy, man. Just keep your head down. Keep on working, keep on handling your business, keep on taking care of your families. But just be aware of everything that's going on around here. I seen a hand up.
It's mine.
Go ahead.
So I have a question about
So I've been noticing a lot about, your about the races and freedoms and, our amendments and whatnot. But what about LGBTQ? What's going on with them, and what else is there? Because I haven't seen a lot on LGBTQ cultural or culture. So any news on what's going on there and how it's being affected by all this?
Well, they're being affected just as much as everybody else because a lot of the people that's been riled up because this is what I got to say. Like the podcaster, public speaker that was on the live, he gave people the feeling, the ability to be able to say what they want to say and feel things that they've been holding in for a long time. I feel, and that's the same feeling that I got when I went to the conference from a lot of the leaders. That right now, a lot of people that feel they don't like the way things has been changing. They want things to go back to the way it used to be. Was the overall consensus. But the way things used to be was bad. You know, people. I mean, it was. So I'm getting to this on different slides, but like we all got some. We all got to look out. So so Rashida, it's not just black folks. Like so you got to be careful also. Um,
I know
Scott,
that in the government, they have made it to where they no longer support LGBTQ communities in that they are taking away their right to state how they want to be addressed. So if you can no longer do he, him, or they, them, after your name. It has to be your given name. And they're taking away the right to get therapy for those services like transgender or anything like that.
thank you.
So
Scott, you was next. Oh.
it does affect
Well,
it very, very much.
I was just going to say one thing that's flying a little bit under the radar also is there's a significant threat to the Voting Rights Act 1965, which went to the Supreme Court yesterday. The Voting Rights Act protects minority votes across the country. It's used to ensure that minorities have a voice in government in choosing their electors. And they're looking at a Supreme Court case, which had oral arguments yesterday, is looking at gutting it. And there's definitely Supreme Court justices who would like to gut that particular law, even though it's been in existence for 60 years, thinking that it's no longer needed because there's no longer racism in the United States, kind of like they did with affirmative action. And so it's that could, and if that goes through, like a lot of people are predicting, and the states, you've heard about how they're redistricting in Texas, and California is responding to that. That could lead to further redistricting right away, to take away those rights and spread out the minorities into other districts. So essentially, their voices are diluted. So it's pretty serious as far as the fate of our country. At least my opinion.
I just wanted to agree with Jermaine that it does seem like just nationwide, you know, racist, homophobes, transphobes, they're just being really emboldened to do whatever it is they want and to express their hatred. I've seen accounts of um, even cisgender women who present masculine being followed into women's bathrooms because, you know, someone thinks that they're trans and going to the wrong bathroom. Or um, I'm not sure if it's true, but I saw an article about a trans woman. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think. Yeah, a trans woman going to the men's bathroom in Texas because that is, you know, the law or whatever there, that, you know, you're supposed to go to the bathroom of your sex assigned at birth, and was also arrested. So it seems like there's just no correct answer. There is no, you know, there is no right thing to do in the, you know, their eyes. But I also see it just as a just a call to be better allies and, you know, band together more than ever right now. In the last few months, that's kind of what I have been seeing more, is relying more on community and trying to, you know, trying to be there for each other if we know that our government isn't going to be there for us. And so, just personally, if anyone in this group if there's anything I can ever do to help or support, please just let me know. And I'm sure that many others in the group feel the same way.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mary.
So I appreciate folks who want to keep their head down, but that's not how we got to where we were before the Trump election. And I for one am not keeping my head down. I don't think that I can hide the fact that I have 50 plus years of diversity, equity, inclusion work. And so at some point when they get to there, they're going to get me. And that's while that makes me scared and nervous. I'm old. I'm still going to be out there.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Melissa?
Hi, yeah, I really appreciate this conversation, and from a systems perspective, I just want to add that there's still things that we can do as a community within the work that we do. Some of the things that I am doing within my own personal work is ensuring that the diversity, equity, and inclusion is still committed to within the work that I do. And that's as simple as making sure that there's still the pronouns that are being used within the data that's being collected from individuals, from our clients, from our community members, and ensuring that as a continuum of care, we are still addressing that and respecting those identities within our community members, because it is a very, in my opinion, a very important thing for us to do, to be able to support our community members, even if the federal government is going against it. It doesn't mean that we as providers have to go against it. We can still do things in our everyday life to be able to still honor those individuals.
Thank you. We have the government shutdown. Next thing that's going on here. Is this what the meeting is about? I'm a little confused now. Okay. Well, so the meeting is about what's going on right now, and for me, it affects everybody. Uh, so when we talk about I'm saying cultural competency, we're talking about all these things that's going on that's can help, that's could affect uh, people in our community, that could affect people of color, uh, and I feel I have the the right and the need to talk about it. I feel like this stuff needs to be said because being quiet is not helping nobody. Uh, and if we're gonna get things fixed, we got to talk about it. So if I'm saying something that's making somebody feel uncomfortable, we'll catch you at the next meeting. Sorry. Government shutdown. The U.S. government has been shut down for over 2 weeks now, with over 2 million federal workers affected. But the military personnel is still getting paid, according to Donald Trump. The shutdown stems from a budget impasse over healthcare subsidies and immigration policies. Social service essential services like social security and food aid continue, but many agencies are furloughed. Uh, so we just had a tsunami in Alaska, and there's no FEMA to help them, and there's lives lost. So this government shutdown is affecting everybody. It's affecting us here. So that's why I'm talking about it, because it's affecting us. And this meeting is to talk about what's going on with our culture, and uh, this is part of what's happening to the culture right now. So we need to talk about it. Anybody got any feelings about this? Allison?
Thank you, Jermaine. So I was thinking that this really didn't reflect on us here in a small little county like Lake County, but recently the California Department of Health Services just issued a draft behavioral health notice that says that we're required we're required to have certain aspects to our data. And then it refers us to a department that has the terminology and the definitions of the terminology for the data that we must have, or we get penalties. And I clicked the link to the department, and it says that it's not working because of the shutdown. So if you think that this is not affecting us here in Lake County, it definitely does, because if we can't get to the information we need to stay in compliance, how are we going to stay in compliance? So that was a rude awakening to me to let us know that it really is affecting us, the shutdown. Thanks.
Thank you. Do you guys want to take a 10-minute break or continue?
Break, please.
Break? Okay. 10-minute break.
Man, see my 5-year pen? Which side is it on?
No,
Congrats.
I think you got that.
Wow.
5 years. Congratulations.
Thank you. You know it's a milestone.
Yeah.
Monty, you got a 5-year pen?
Monty got a 5-year pen, you guys. Isn't she lovely?
Just joined.
When do we celebrate?
Hey, you know I'm always celebrating. Let me tell
I
it.
didn't
But
get
no,
a pin. I just
right?
got a
I
piece
got a
of paper
5-year pen
printed
and a
out.
really nice certificate. It was beautiful and a nice ceremony, so that was cool.
Oh, you did?
Elise
I didn't go to
presented
the
it.
ceremony when mine came up, so I never got my pen.
Oh no, you got to ask Elise about your pen. She may have
Yeah,
it
that
in
was
the
a year
archive
ago.
somewhere.
Forget it.
Oh, how many years ago, Patricia?
Just one year ago.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, she may still have it in our archive. This pen means a whole lot to me. I'm holding on to it.
Oh, that's good. You survived.
Right.
I can't believe it. I feel like you just joined us.
No, it's been 5 years as of actually in August it was 5 years for me.
Wow.
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yeah. Somebody just said they're going in 8 years.
Oh, I think the biggest one I seen at the award ceremony was 35 years. I was like, what is he thinking? But okay, congratulations.
Can't you retire like full salary at 30 years?
Yeah, something like that. Rachel now I think got 25 years. Rachel, you
Yeah,
back
Rachel
yet?
was telling me that she was way up there too.
Oh yeah. I think she got
Yeah.
like 25 years or 15 years. It was some big milestone amount though. I was so proud of her.
Well, shit, I didn't get no pin. I for real want one.
I think she got a plaque. When she comes back, we'll have to ask her. Yep, they
That's
gave out some really
incredible.
nice plaques. I can't wait to get a plaque.
Well, I got a glass plaque at 20 years.
Okay, okay. That's nice.
At
But see,
10 years,
before
I'll
I worked
go.
here, I have
ceremony.
PERS too. So I plan on retiring in a few years, just not right now. I may look young, but I'm at retirement age.
Oh,
Yeah,
me
what
too.
happened? When are we supposed to be able to retire? 55?
Supposedly.
25 years.
Well,
65?
technically, you can retire at whatever age you want once you get your 20 in with PERS, but it's all about your future and how much you want to have. You know what I mean? And for me,
Yeah,
I've been
it's
working
about the
for
monthly amount, right? Retirement.
absolutely. I've been working
Yeah.
for PERS I had 13 years PERS service before the 5 years.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
great.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started working for the
I've
state of
been,
California when I was like 20, something like that.
yeah, I've been with here for at least 24, 25 years, but I had to go on leave for my workers' comp.
Gotcha.
So
Right.
that took away from that.
And for
All right,
me,
guys, let's
do it. Sorry, man.
It's all right. Let's go ahead and get started. And I promise this is the last controversial slide. We're gonna get back to some county stuff. I'm sorry if I offended some people. But a lot of stuff been on my mind, and sometimes they gave me a platform, so I'm using it. All right.
Absolutely. Knowledge is
Jermaine,
power.
This is Carrie, and I'm not offended in the least. I love the conversation that it sparked during the break. You know, I'm gonna say this, and if I offend anyone, I'm sorry. You know, the whole ideal of race was invented back in the 1600s. And I come from the belief that, yeah, our skin color's different, yes, you know, but my mother taught me at a very young age, living in a small town in southern West Virginia, that we're all human. And while we've all had our experiences and, you know, our ancestors have had their experiences, this whole ideal was created in a time that is I feel like we need to change that whole ideal of race, because like we all have DNA. It might be a little bit different, but you can trace mine back to Africa. And I don't know. And that's just my thought, like we are all human. And I feel like this whole ideal of race creates more divide, and it puts us further and further apart from each other, and we lose that human aspect. That's all I have.
Okay, so Layla, give me 1 second so I could respond to this for a second. And so I'm gonna tell you guys something that I don't tell a lot of people. Okay, so I'm from down South Louisiana. I grew up. you people can't tell me it's not racist stuff going on. I'm from Louisiana. I grew up in some super segregated. The Klan had a TV show all the way in South. 18 years old. They had a show on TV. And back in 2005, I got incarcerated, and they sent me to San Quentin for a 90-day observation. And it is so racist in there, and everything that happened on the streets is run by the prison system. And everybody's segregated. It is super racist. So it's no way when people tell me that it's not racist going on around here. I respect your.
Jermaine, that's not what I said. I did not say there's not racism. That is not what I was saying. I said that the ideal that ideology of race needs to change. That's from like 1600s. And I feel like the more focus that we put on race, the more of a divide is created. I'm not saying there's not racism, because I grew up in West Virginia. I saw the KKK burn a cross in my friend's front yard and throw rocks at us when I was driving down the road with him in the car because he was Black and I was white. So I know it exists, but all I'm saying is that my own belief, and I knew this was going to kind of come across as like I don't believe in racism. No, I know that exists. All I'm saying is, in order, it's an old idea that needs to go away. And I think that the more that we focus on the differences between each of us, the more of a divide that's created.
If I don't acknowledge that Jermaine gets treated differently when he goes someplace than I do, that we have to talk about that. I understand what you're saying, Carrie, but we have to talk about it.
I know we do. Right. I know we do.
And the goal should be for the whole concept to go away, but we ain't there yet. And we weren't even that close before this administration. And now we're in a worse place.
Layla?
Yeah, I agree, especially with what Mary was just saying, but I also, so what Carrie is saying, that like race is arbitrary, which it is. Race is made up. There is no, like, we're not different species. It's, they did a study where there are more differences within racial groups than between racial groups, like genetically. And just to say, and I don't know how to calculate that, like if it's percentage or whatever, but yes, race is arbitrary. But so are countries, like there is no like physical line between the United States and Canada or Mexico. Like these are like boundaries and groups that are built by society. And while yes, they're all made up, and hopefully one day they won't be an issue, or they won't be, the center of our discussions, we do have, like, not talking about it isn't going to not not talking about it isn't going to fix it. It's, kind of like brushing it under the rug. And it would take changing the entire world's kind of definitions or views or just, but I do get what you're saying, Carrie, and I appreciate that you're also saying that yes, yeah, it's a social construct. Like, so many things are a social construct: gender, countries, race. But I do appreciate that while you're saying this, Carrie, you are still saying that, you're not denying that racism exists. I know that um, I've had experiences with people who talk about, like, they were raised to be colorblind, but that being colorblind is saying that, like, oh well, it shouldn't matter that you're Black or Asian or white because we're all humans. It's kind of being dismissive of a person's experiences based on those identities. But I understand, and it's something that it's difficult to kind of to deal with, that it's that it's fake, it's made up, but it's still something that we have to deal with on the day-to-day basis.
All right, let's continue. But if anybody want to have a talk in private and we can talk about some things, I am definitely up to that. I love to talk about things. I love to debate. And if I look serious, I'm not mad. I just the way I look. You know what I'm saying? I get, if I'm not smiling, people get intimidated sometimes, and get frightened or whatever and think I'm mean. I was raised where I had to look hard, so it's hard for me not to. If I don't have nothing to smile about, sometimes it's hard to smile. But I try as much as possible to come across as the nice person that I am. 'Cause I'm a nice person, but I just look mean sometimes. So just take that as it is. Layla, you got something?
Oh yeah, just say, like, even you saying that you feel the need to explain yourself, that, like, oh, just because I'm smiling doesn't mean I'm mad. It's those are so, like, uh, I've been hearing a lot in the last, 10 years or so, like how people have to feel like they have to offset their, any stereotypes of themselves. Like, you don't want to be the stereotypical whatever, and so you have to change your mannerisms or the way that you feel like you're being perceived to react to that. And, I know that, like, when I was younger, I used to make a lot of jokes about being a bad driver because I'm an Asian woman. But, like, and, like, just having to respond to the stereotypes of whatever identity that we are. And I I'm sorry to go off track so much, but I used to be in our department's maternal child and adolescent health program. And for folks who aren't familiar, nationally, we have a way higher um, infant mortality rate in our Black community members. And I'll find you the link, but um, there was a case where a Black couple were in the maternity ward, and the mother had just given birth. She was feeling really ill, and the husband, he was getting upset that no one was paying attention, that she wasn't getting treated, that the nurses and doctors were running around taking care of everyone else and not her. But she kept telling him to calm down because she didn't want him to be perceived as the angry Black man and have security called on him and have him removed. She ended up dying. And so because she wasn't getting the attention, and because the husband had to feel like he had to make himself smaller and not be a stereotype of himself. And so the husband and the two sons, um, I created I want to say it's a nonprofit to bring awareness to things like this. Um, but I just, hearing you say that, Jermaine, it brought up just a lot of these things that like we in our day-to-day, like our internalized oppression, and even what Mary was saying about, you know, keeping your head down. Like I think about all these things a lot, about you know, what in our like society's definitions of us and our past traumas like make us do the things that we do and act the way we act.
I'm gonna tell you this. This is real life. This is stuff I deal with. I still deal with. Uh, now I've had cops walking on the sidewalk and you know, say Rona Park, going to a club, and because I don't look at them, they're like, "Oh, why are you dogging me?" You know, I have cops trying to fight me, want me to fight them, just because you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You're a big boy. What's up? Let's fight. Like, nah, man. I'm smarter than. I'm not gonna sit there and try to fight you so you can shoot me. I deal with this. Many black folks deal with this all the time, especially if you're a big black guy. People look at you a certain type of way. So uh, I've had to deal with a whole lot of stuff. So that's another subject. So some continue with this, what we're doing right now. So racial divide and discrimination. So a research survey shows that most Americans believe Black, Hispanic, and Asian communities face discrimination though perceptions vary sharply by political affiliations. Structural racism remains a major concern with ongoing debates over education, censorship, policing, and reparations. The divide is deepened by partisan narratives and differing views on faces discrimination in America. Um, I mean, I recently had a white male tell me that he felt discriminated against. Uh, and he told it to me, so stuff get crazy. But anyway, so lately I've been reflecting on my early years growing up in Louisiana. It was a time when segregation was still deeply rooted in everyday life. There was places that we just couldn't go, and it was times that we couldn't walk freely. And the only real interactions we had across racial lines happened at work or when we played sports together. What I'm seeing today feels like an echo of that past. Only now it seems more calculated, more deliberate. I remember hearing people talk about stockpiling weapons and preparing for some kind of societal collapse. And this is like 10 years ago. People that used to come over to my shop, and they used to always talk about how all the weapons they're getting because when things go bad. And back then, I didn't think much of it. You know, so I just assumed it was just talking. But over this past year, I've seen people I've known for decades, people I work with, people I share a community with, people that have been in my house, I've been in their house. Now they're openly posting racist content online. Some are even talking about the civil war that's supposed to happen. I mean, civil war against who? In person, when I see these people, they be like, "Oh, what's up, brother? How the family doing? Everything? You know, what I'm saying, good to see you." And then later on, I see their posts, and it's like a different person entirely. We seen Bob when stuff happened with Mr. Charlie Kirk. Historically, black colleges and universities start getting bomb threats. White nationalists marching saying, "White man, fight back." The tragic acts and violence, and when you have black people found hanging, yes, hanging, is bring back a haunted image of strange fruit. If you don't know what strange fruit is, that's what black folks call black bodies hanging from trees. And this is not history, this is happening now. So I'm sharing this not to stir division, but to open eyes. Uh, these are not isolated incidents. They're part of a pattern we need to acknowledge, confront together. And so I'd love to hear what others in the community are thinking about these times that's going on right now. And how can we move forward with honesty, unity, and action? Denise?
I just want to say for me, I have to do the inner work for me. And I just really feel that there's times, that I go back to my trauma as a child, or then I will hit a different area in it, and it will go back to generational trauma. And to be able to do the self work that I do to make myself realize um, that it's time for me to step up and try and prevent some of these things from reoccurring. What can I do personally on a spiritual level, and while working with clients and while working with my community? What can I do to promote love and peace and unity? So I'm not saying that there aren't times that something triggers me and I go sideways, but that's the time I need to check myself and see how I'm expressing that outwardly. And the other thing for me is active listening, to hear everybody's opinion, to honor all those who have an opinion, whether it meets mine or not. Because if I don't do that, then I am not learning anything about anything. So I have to base my conscious awareness in an open-minded direction, or I'm fooling myself also. And I do this on a daily basis. On a daily basis, I work on this because it's very important for me to, as Carrie said, to remain human, to be the best human that I can possibly be, to be the best mother I can be, to be the best daughter I can be, to be the best friend I can be, irregardless of your beliefs. And I just really felt a need to say that.
So that goes right back to the First Amendment rights. You got the right to talk, you got the right to have your opinion, and we got the right to debate about it. I definitely have no issue with that. Um, Anybody else? All right, moving on. Community events. So we have Recovery Happens on September 13th. The Homelessness in Lake County on September 24th. And Rooted in Care Conference on October 3rd. Let's talk about those events.
Those are all in the past.
Yes, we were talking about the stuff that happened, since I was last meeting. So that's
okay.
August, September, and October.
Oh, okay, because I know there's a bunch of events coming up. So.
Oh, we could talk about the upcoming events also, but that's kind of highlight the events that we gave that's helping our community. Anybody want to talk about the Recovery Happens? I was there for a little bit. It seemed like a nice little crowd over there. I don't see Richie. Maybe Amber, you might want to talk about it a little bit.
Hi. Sure. So, it was a wonderful day. We did have some good participation. What occurred is just a national, day of celebration for individuals in recovery, and that spans across different spectrums of recovery, from substance use disorder, behavioral health conditions. It was a day to just come together, celebrate each other, spread awareness, and share resources within the community. It was a beautiful event, and next year we will look to expand participation, partner resources and individuals, and we
biannually we change locations. So biannually we're in Lakeport and then we're in Clear Lake. So we were in Lakeport this year. So next year we will be in the city of Clear Lake.
Thank you, Amber. Megan, you was the main person I knew about for the homelessness in Lake County. I wasn't able to make that event. I was down in Houston at the time. You want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah. I mean, I think it went pretty well. It seemed like it was pretty well attended in person. We had about 20 people who were coming in online, which was nice. I do know it has gotten a lot more views. I think last I looked was several hundred since then. So it's nice that even if people weren't able to attend, they can go back and rewatch. And it was really great because they were able to share a lot of information about what has been happening with the COC. And as well as hear from some individuals with lived experience, which I think really helps bring some humanity to those stories of seeing, people in person instead of just hearing about them in kind of a third person perspective. So I think it was a pretty good event.
Thank you. You know what, Mary, I forgot to add the event that I seen you at Woodland. What was that about again?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Okay, so that was Resilient Reentry. It was geared to people who are justice and system involved, and to give them places where they could hook up with services that could help them in their new path. It was pretty well attended, not as well as in the past. We also noticed that not as many agencies signed up, but I'm waiting for the final figures, but I'm thinking we had about 60 people come through, plus the vendors.
Yeah, it was pretty nice over there.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then we had the Rooted in Care conference. We had a few booths over there. I went over there on one of the days. I think I went over there on the third, but they also had an event on the night before. Somebody else something to say? What it is.
So all the Peer Center staff was able to go to the Rooted in Care conference, which I felt like that was amazing. And there was a lot of good information. Especially I went to a breakout session on moral injury, which was amazing. And we're actually doing a training for the Peer Center on the 29th that kind of goes in line with that, around vicarious trauma and how to prevent burnout. So, but it was a really good conference. I went to the dinner and I went to the actual conference on the 3rd, and it was really good. Very informative.
Yep, it was pretty nice. I was over there. I seen a few people, seen a bunch of people from Lake County over there, from Lake County Behavioral Health over there. So that was nice to see our crew representing. All right. So we got Indigenous People Day. That was on the 13th. For those that don't know, Indigenous People Day is a holiday that honors and celebrates the history, culture, and contributions of Indigenous people across the Americas. It serves as a counter celebration for Columbus Day, which has traditionally commemorated Christopher Columbus' arrival in the Americas in 1492. I don't know if everybody know he didn't actually come to America. He was in more Central America. So the purpose is to recognize resilience, rich cultures, and enduring contributions of Native Americans, First Nations, and indigenous communities. The idea began gaining traction in the late 20th century, especially among Native American activists and communities who sought to challenge the glorification of Columbus and highlighted the impact of colonization on indigenous people. It was first recognized in South Dakota, which was the first U.S. state to replace Columbus Day with Indigenous People Day back in 1990. Since then, many states, cities, institutions have adopted the holiday. It's observed on the second Monday of October, same day as Columbus Day in the U.S. Celebrations often include cultural events, educational programs, traditional music and dance, and discussions about indigenous history and contemporary issues. Any comments? Layla?
In the past, in this committee, we've talked about how we can go out into the community more. So maybe for next year, we can try to table at an event, or see what events are happening. Oh, Tiffany's here. Hi, Tiffany. I'll let her talk.
Hi,
Hi, so
Tiffany.
I work, hello, for those that don't know me, my name's Tiffany Montel. I work for the Scotch Valley Tribe. I've worked for the tribes the last almost 4 years now. Before that, I was with RCS. And since I've worked with the tribes, my thing that I've tried to do is kind of bridge the gap between the tribal communities and our other communities, just so that way we can all try to work together. And what I've learned, the best way to be able to integrate yourself into the tribal communities is, first of all, don't be scared. They're just people. We're all just people. I know we all hear scary stories about the reservations, but they're really not that scary, I promise you. And the best way to ever get a hold of anybody with any tribe that you'd like to.
You cut out, Tiffany.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I hear you now. Go ahead.
Just so that way everybody would be able to connect. The best way would always be to contact the tribal offices. And if we have any events, we try to always invite everybody at least ahead of time. We understand if we have conflicting conflicts, of course, but always try to attend them if you're capable of it. And that's really it. And then take a cultural competency with Native Americans, because they use some different languages than everybody else, and that's it. Really easy.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Yes.
Anybody else? All right. And we got National Hispanic Heritage Month, which is celebrated in the United States from September 15th to October 15th each year. It honors the histories, culture, contributions of Americans whose ancestors come from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, Central, and South America. So September 15th is significant because it marks the independence anniversaries of Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Can't say it. Nicaragua. Mexico and Chile also celebrated their Independence Day on September 16th and 18th, respectively. This month recognizes the rich cultural heritage and impact of Hispanic, Latino Americans in fields like art, politics, education, science, business, and public service. It began as Hispanic Heritage Week in 1968 under President Lyndon B. Johnson, and was expanded to a month-long celebration by President Ronald Reagan in 1988. Celebrations, events often include music, dance, performances, art, exhibits, educational activities, community festivals, and recognition of Hispanic leaders and innovators. Any comments?
Hi, real quick. Sorry, I know I keep raising my hand for
Thank you.
every, but just to bring it up for awareness, there's a difference between Hispanic and Latino or Latine. Um, Hispanic actually refers to the language, so any Spanish-speaking countries. So it includes Spain and excludes countries like Brazil, who are in Latin America but speak Portuguese.
Portuguese.
And yeah, and so I don't know if anyone saw, but there was a state proclamation that it's National Latino Heritage Month rather than Hispanic because we're like when we it's uh we're trying to be more inclusive and like talk about of the other Latin American countries that are excluded when we say Hispanic. And Judith actually helped me with that. Uh, we uh, we were asked by Matthew Rothstein to provide some feedback on the National Hispanic Heritage Month newsletter that he put out. But yeah, just again awareness about what language we use and some of the definitions.
Thank you. I didn't know, but I appreciate the knowledge. Trisha?
I was in a discussion, and so maybe you can answer for me, with a client who wanted to know what Latinx, like who does Latinx include?
So Latinx was oh sorry, does anyone else want to answer that?
No, I wasn't going
She's
to
from
answer
Guatemala,
it.
and she wasn't sure if it included her.
I wasn't going to answer it. I was going to give that pretty soon in the near future. I am working on awareness for Hispanic Latino culture. So just keep a eye out for that email. I'm working on it soon, so that way, if anybody wants more information on it, there will be a presentation I am creating for it.
I'm looking forward to
Thank you.
seeing that. But Latinx was a term created as a gender neutral term for Latin Americans. And again, if anyone has any input or like, please feel free to jump in. And I know that because the general term is Latino, which is a masculine term. And let me see if Judith is still here because she also we were just discussing this a couple weeks ago.
I think I get it because that's what I read, and she was like, "I don't think that's it." Her family's from Guatemala, but something else. So I thought I would
Yeah.
ask. Yeah.
So one of the reasons that a lot of people don't identify with the term Latinx is because the X isn't used in Spanish languages. And
Okay.
so I have been using Latine because the E at the end is gender neutral. So instead of Latino, Latina, there's Latine. And I'll type that in the chat. But again, even then, some people don't like that term. I just try to be as inclusive as and neutral as possible when I'm using, when I pick which words to use. So I use Latine. Um, but yeah,
This is perfect timing.
whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, and so whatever makes people most comfortable, if someone tells me that like, oh, they prefer, like, like an individual tells me that they prefer Latino or Latina, I'm not going to keep referring to them as Latine. But when I'm talking about like a population in general, I try to use Latine.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So this is Mary again, Hispanic serving. So the Woodland Community College was was considered one of our nation's Hispanic serving institutions, which means that more than 25% of our enrollment is people from what is legally called Hispanic cultures. And while we have conversations about what people want to be called and the different ways that we can respond to that, the fact is there exists a federal definition that had funding behind it. And I say had because the Trump administration pulled all funding for Hispanic serving institutions, and that we're looking for ways to keep doing what we've been doing for our student population, but a lot of funding has been pulled, and it's not just this funding, but things like TRIO, which helped low-income students. It's gone, and it's impacting our colleges throughout the country.
Thank you, Mary. So this is not a holiday, but it's definitely important for our community. Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is observed every October as a global campaign to raise awareness about breast cancer, promote early detection, support those affected, and fund research for better treatment and a cure. This is important to me because my mother had breast cancer. She's a survivor. It was definitely scary. And my birthday is October 29th, so I always put a little fundraiser on my Facebook for breast cancer awareness and research. So to raise awareness about breast cancer, symptoms, and importance of early detection, encourage screenings, especially mammograms, starting at age 40 or earlier, depending on individual risks. Support patients and survivors, include those metastatic breast cancer. I probably butchered that name. Fund research for prevention, treatment, and ultimate cure. This began in 1985 as a week-long campaign by American Cancer Society and Imperial Chemical Industries, involved into a month-long global initiative. The pink ribbon was introduced in 1992, became the universal symbol of breast cancer awareness. Mary, you had to comment on this? Oh, you said your hand's still up? Okay. So just be aware. No, we have a bunch of young ladies over here, so y'all ain't worried about it. But keep that in mind, guys. Be safe. Get checked.
Yeah, it
Carrie?
doesn't matter what age you are for breast cancer. Always be aware.
Coming from me, who just had a mastectomy from having a breast tumor, I'm actually glad that I went to go get checked. It's been kind of hectic out here with these, diseases and viruses going around.
Carrie?
Oh, okay. I had to find my mic. I just wanted to mention that there is a yard sale this weekend at the Big Oak Peer Support Center. This yard sale is put on by Davey and the crew over there. It is to benefit Lake County Helping Hand. They are the ones that donate the food for all of our food giveaways at the different centers. And so it will be there in the parking lot from 9 to 4 if anyone is over there. and you just want to stop, or if you have stuff that you'd like to donate, they're taking donations for the yard sale. And this is so that we can get some turkeys for Thanksgiving for the community. And then also, the BHSA community planning meeting is next Thursday at 10 o'clock. I just wanted to throw that out there. It will be online, and we will be showing it at the peer support centers. So I just wanted to give, a couple of shouts out. So.
Thank you, Carrie. Hey guys, so look like we're about to run out of time.
And happy birthday.
Thank you. So we're gonna run out of time, but the slide is in the email sent to you guys. You can go through and look through the rest of them. And for the next meeting, we could kind of continue. So thank everybody for joining me. Thanks for all the conversations. I know we had some intense issues, some intense topics we talked about. But I feel like it needs to be talked about sometimes. And while they put me on this platform, I had to use it. So
I just want to again do a shout out, Jermaine. Thank you so much. I just really honor you for doing this today.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, everybody have a great rest of this week and weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you, Patricia.